Hello there. Welcome to this week's episode of Iron Port. This program is proudly brought to you with the kind sponsorship of Goil Company Limited, Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, as well as Serene Insurance. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Almost a month ago, the port of Beirut in Lebanon experienced a catastrophic explosion. Many lives were lost and many properties destroyed. It is important for us to note that this can happen anywhere. Hence, the need for us to assess this particular situation and draw lessons from this disaster to ensure that Ghana's port environment doesn't suffer similar situation. So, we engage experts in respective state agencies responsible for the environment on the subject. Let's take a listen at what they had to say.
Ghana's regulatory agencies working at the ports are being encouraged to strengthen collaborations at the country's ports in order to ensure optimum care in the dealings with dangerous or hazardous cargo.
We need to take these measures very, very seriously.
Okay.
We need to collaborate customs, the major stakeholders in the port, customs, GPHA, the statutory agencies that also Food and Drugs Authority, EPA should collaborate and make sure that we educate consignees to know what they are supposed to do, because most of them may not know.
Coordination among all of us, the stakeholders, very, very important to ensure that the shipping line, the consignee, and then the port authority, including ourselves and ourselves, everybody, ensure that we don't cause any delays.
Speaking on Iron Port, the Port Fire and Safety Manager, Edward Heyman, the General Manager, Estate and Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, James Benjamin Gazy, and Senior Revenue Officer, Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Richard Eduyenchi, all emphasized the significance of drawing lessons from the disastrous explosion at the Beirut port in Lebanon.
The port plays a very major role in any nation's economy. Once life is destroyed, property is destroyed, like the Beirut one, the port cannot operate, and it will affect any nation drastically.
I think the Lebanon incidents have to indicate to us and as incidents alert to all of us in terms of handling of dangerous goods in the port. If all of us will understand that with China incidents, it started from a single container, and at the end, it spread all over in the port.
The incident at Beirut Port on the 4th of August is believed to have begun from an initial fire around a warehouse in the port, which ignited about 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate in the warehouse, causing a colossal explosion that traveled as far as 5 miles away from the port. Many properties in the city were destroyed and over 300,000 people misplaced and 5,000 injured, with about 200 people confirmed dead.
Before this incident happened, there was some activities going on next to the warehouse where the cargo was being stored. And fire caught fire, extended to the warehouse where this confiscated cargo was being kept. They ignited and the explosion occurred.
Senior Revenue Officer Richard Eduyenchi, while defining the seeming difference in what can be considered as hazardous from dangerous cargo, confirmed that the country's ports take delivery of 9 different categories of hazardous cargo, where customs authorities follow the laid-down customs steps of handling cargo, which includes seizure, detention, and confiscation after 21 days of non-clearance by consignee.
We don't really detain much of these dangerous goods at the ports, unless maybe the importer or the declarant fail to declare to customs. When you fail to declare to customs or you don't enter,
and that's a possibility.
Yes, it's possible.
Which
because
has been happening.
Yeah, day in day out, I mean, some of these importers are trying to attract.
And in that case, what do you do?
So it's clearly a customs offense, and we treat it as such. We apply our laws.
He said, although in rare instances, aside the non-payment of duties, sometimes improper labeling, wrong declaration, among many other infringements, may also cause the detention of dangerous cargo.
Events where a particular consignment, some way, somehow, due to maybe documents, like the importer or the declarant is unable to secure the necessary permits or license from the regulator, and maybe it exceeds the allowable 21 days.
The customs officer revealed that after confiscation of uncleared hazardous cargo, such goods are kept in storage at the designated tema-bonded terminal where such cargoes are kept.
In the case of dangerous goods, you can't directly move them to the state where due to the hazardous nature. So we have what we call constructive warehousing at TBT.
The Port Fire and Safety Manager, Edward Heyman, disclosed that the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is very keen on the handling of hazardous and dangerous cargo and ensures effective escort and direct delivery of such goods after handling.
Per case that is supposed to stay for a day or two, we have what the fire department do as monitoring or fire cover. We deploy our fire engines and men to monitor it till it leaves the port.
However, there was the general concession that some delays could still emerge from failed declaration of such goods or delays from getting permits through other regulatory agencies who play key roles in the clearance of such dangerous cargo.
If you know the procedure where before you order or consignee get the permit to order dangerous goods, it goes through the ministries and other agencies. And before the minister, the interior minister have to give you a permit to import these goods. And when the goods arrive in the country, you also have to go and get a permit to clear it from the port. So if it's going beyond the normal days that is supposed to stay in the port, it becomes a security issue.
Edward Heyman still called for importers to do their due diligence on the standard practices necessary before importing of such cargoes and undergo the necessary clearance processes with relevant statutory agencies before cargoes arrive in the country.
Anytime you are importing or clearing, we should make sure we follow the due processes that is there.
The general manager in charge of estate and environment at GPHA, James Benjamin Gazy, called for the stop in practice where importers bring in cargo without being ready to clear them, emphasizing that the port is not a warehouse for goods and, more importantly, such dangerous cargo.
The port cannot be a warehouse
where for dangerous cargo like that.
Your cargo and come and keep it there and go and look for buyer. That's what some people do.
They are now going to look for buyer for the dangerous cargo.
They hear that this commodity is selling, so they import it, go and look for buyer. Until they get a buyer, they will not come and clear.
He also called for expedited processes to ensure the proper disposal of such hazardous cargo after confiscation to ensure these goods do not overstay in the port area due to the volatile nature of port activities.
When the consignee is not prepared to clear, it's very difficult for him to clear. So once the cargo has been confiscated, once it's been confiscated, then the best thing is to find use for it, dispose of it, identify those who have use for them.
James Gazy also urged importers to only employ EPA licensed transporters in the carriage of hazardous cargo because it is important to ensure that after goods have left the port, they are in safe hands to protect the larger public.
Even the transportation of cargo has to go through processes.
Okay.
So whoever has a permit to transport cargo will have to show that he has a capacity to transport that particular cargo.
Okay.
But what do we see? Anybody bring a cargo truck to the port, put my cargo truck on it, and he takes it and he goes away.
Touching on cases of unlabeled cargo, he appealed that laws could be formulated to ensure that unless such cargoes are properly declared, they aren't offloaded from ships.
If a container lands in your port and it's not properly labeled or described, it should go back on the vessel. Go back to where it came from.
Is that possible?
It should be.
Okay.
That's the best practice.
If you haven't described it, we don't know what it is.
The general manager in charge of estate and environment further called for reduced interruptions by security agencies in the port space on hazardous cargo where possible, so that these goods will be transported quickly from the port area.
We'll pray that such interference in season cargoes do not happen in a port.
In season such cargoes?
Season such cargoes will not happen in a port, because if a cargo is confiscated, it's out of the reach of the port authority.
Okay.
Because you cannot take decisions on them. But if it's in normal storage, then the port safety manager has control over it.
Okay.
Edward Heyman, the port fire and safety manager, charged shipping lines to be very clear in the declaration and description of hazardous goods to guide his outfit in the best ways of handling them. He lamented that failed declaration of such goods can have very dire consequences.
The shipping community, the shipping line should ensure that they come out with a clear declarations.
Okay.
Shouldn't hide anything. It becomes more dangerous when you hide it. Yeah, if we know that you are having this thing, then there's procedure to handle every dangerous goods.
The fire and safety manager at the Tema port also urged stakeholders in the port space to take sensitization exercises done by his outfit and the Regional Maritime University very seriously, so that all port personnel are well equipped in how to collectively deal with hazards during any such possible incidents.
We have RMU who always every year organize the handling of dangerous goods for the port community.
The Regional Maritime
University. It's a 1-week program. They always do it about twice a year for stakeholders to attend to. We should take it seriously.
The senior revenue officer, Richard Eduyenchi, expressed the need for a review of some customs policies that will bring about a needed improvement in the handling of dangerous and hazardous cargo.
Obviously, we need to review our policies, some policies, yes.
Like which one?
Oh, general
21 days, for instance, should it
obviously customs
cover all goods, or we should?
We are learning. We've learned a lot, and our policy and programs department. It's possible that they will review some of our policies.
Okay.
He also opined that a 24 hours per 7 days a week port would expedite movement of cargoes, particularly those with hazardous and dangerous content in and out of the port.
So far, it's proving working 24/7 has proven very successfully at MPS. So it's possible. As I'm speaking to you now, we've received an application for Golden Jubilee to also go on 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's possible that it can same treatment can be extended to items being.
Is that an engagement you would push for as soon as possible?
Customs has already received an application to.
That's the Golden Jubilee.
Yes.
I'm talking about TBT now.
Yes, it's possible.
So, our experts are encouraging stronger collaboration between relevant agencies in the port to ensure improved handling of hazardous and dangerous cargo to protect humans, properties, and goods. Now, to some important news item, the Ministry of Trade and Industry has launched the Ghana Business Regulatory Reforms Portal to enable policymakers easily consult affected businesses and individuals in a transparent and timely way. Take a listen.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry has officially launched the Ghana Business Regulatory Reforms Portal, which is an interactive portal that would enable policymakers easily consult affected businesses and individuals in a transparent and timely way, and at a considerable cost savings. It is also intended to provide open and transparent access to business regulations through its electronic registry of acts, legislative instruments, regulatory notices, administrative directives, procedures, forms, and fees. The Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Robert Ahomka-Lindsay, revealed that since 2017, the government has been ensuring that the introduction of this portal would clean up or simplify existing business regulations which are inefficient or are not business friendly. According to the Deputy Minister, the portal would facilitate adequate consultation with private sector during the rolling out of regulations and reforms.
The essence of this is to ensure that when we, the public sector, want to do anything that is social regulation, we have a basis of ensuring we get full feedback from you, key stakeholders. And no regulation should be introduced without this being done. No surprises. I started by saying businesses do not like surprises. They want predictability.
The CEO of Indexcom Limited, technical support group for the ministry in the development of the Ghana Business Regulatory Reforms Portal, demonstrating the use of the portal, disclosed that in its e-registry component, any business person can access from over 5,000 laws pertaining to his or her business by the use of the search engine.
In consultations during the initial stages, it came out clear that the business user wants something that is straightforward and simple. Therefore, it is important when you are dealing with over 5,000 laws, provide a search engine. Hence, the design to have this search box for people to be able to just quickly go there and search for whatever that they are looking for.
The area of public and private sector representation at the launch, Intense commended the government on leveraging on technology to ease business relations with policymakers.
Doing business across the world today requires innovation and systems that can enable business people save time and resources. It is this novelty which can enable Ghana as a country integrate into global systems, many of which have departed from the manual approach of information management and retrieval.
We find this online business portal an affirmation of government's continuous support to ensure an enabling business environment and building a new and a more efficient Ghana. As a chamber, we are exceptionally delighted about the benefits of this online business portal.
The special guest at the launching event, Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Kwadwo Tremantin, stated that the initiative is one of the main strategies to make Ghana the most business-friendly economy in Africa.
Because if now it is becoming clear to us that we need the private sector to finance our development for us, then you have to start thinking about how do I attract private capital? This is all basic logic. How do I attract private capital? And it is, again, an uncontestable fact that private capital moves to destinations where they are pampered and where their value is recognized.
He also highlighted that such innovation is intended to strengthen the ties between private sector and government towards the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda, where the private sector would enjoy an improved working environment.
COVID-19 seems to be teaching us a number of lessons. One of the most important lessons is that with the disruption in global supply chains, as a country, we have no choice but to begin to realize that we have to increasingly become self-reliant.
Members of the public who want to participate in a consultation process for formulating business-related policies and regulations were urged to register on the portal. Users of smartphones can also access the application via Android or iOS.
Iron Port returns after this breather.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Oh, how are you?
Hi Yvonne, a few words please. Everyone is talking about the fire at your production house last week. How are you holding up? Has production stalled?
No, not at all. My crew and everyone on my set is perfectly fine because I insure with Serene Insurance. As a matter of fact, I've had all my equipment replaced, including the vehicles that were affected. My workers have been sorted out. Even my production downtime has been covered. So it's all good. I have a meeting to attend to, so I have to get going. Sorry about that.
Which insurance company did you mention?
Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance, a member of First Sky Group.
Sa coronavirus yare no yare a sign pa. So obi nya bi na se opo wagu so ana se obinti gu so a utumenya yare ni bi.
Okadi ni bahani onaka oyehila ekoji. Ohe banye do. Oba wulo. Ogo ba hunu. Oba chine. Ojamba wohe. Oba na sen kaka. Mekme musunchon. Mekme nuni enihi.
Coronavirus infection, the symptoms can range from mild, one of it being asymptomatic. Asymptomatic just means that you may not have any symptoms at all, and the disease process can gradually worsen to be a severe form, the severest being ultimately death.
We are expected to sanitize our hands when our hands are not visibly soiled or you can't really see dirt on your hands. If you can see dirt on your hands, the best thing to do is to wash your hands with soap and the running water.
If you're using any of the cloth face masks, always make sure you have a rubber bag ready to receive it when you remove it, or you have a bowl of warm soapy water in which you can place the mask and wash. Wash your mask, dry in the hot sun for at least 5 hours, and apply heat by way of ironing.
Welcome back from the break. Let's take some international port news.
A consortium between Bolloré and APM Terminals has signed contracts with the China Harbour Engineering Company for the construction of Abidjan's second container terminal, known as Côte d'Ivoire Terminal. CIT is scheduled to be operational at the end of 2021. The consortium will invest 400 million euros in the construction of the terminal and equipment. Once completed, the terminal is expected to employ more than 400 people at its go live, with a similar number of people being employed for its construction. At the end of the 20-year concession to operate, the assets will be returned to the autonomous port of Abidjan. Located adjacent to the existing Abidjan terminal, the new terminal will add an additional 1.2 million TEU in annual throughput capacity in its first phase of development. The Côte d'Ivoire terminal was formed in 2013, and the first phase of the project was handled by the autonomous port of Abidjan. The BBC has reported that at least 17 dolphins have been found stranded on Mauritius shores over the past several days, raising questions about whether these could be linked to a recent oil spill from Wakasho bulker that went aground last month and subsequently split in two. Environmental group Greenpeace said at least 4 dead and 4 ailing dolphins were found stranded on Wednesday morning on the shores, calling for an urgent investigation to determine the cause of the strandings. The environmental group said that the long-term impacts of the oil spill are yet to be determined, but it is estimated that it will likely affect turtles, seabirds, and much of the marine life in the area. The 13 crew members of product tanker MT Curacao Trader, who were kidnapped off Benin back in July, have been released and are all safe and well. The information was confirmed by the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs earlier this week, saying that 7 Russian sailors were released on August 24. According to sources close to the matter, the remaining 6 Ukrainian sailors have also been freed. The ministry said the release resulted from joint efforts carried out by the Russian embassy diplomat in Abuja, Nigerian authorities, and the representatives of the ship owner. The crew members are currently located at the regional headquarters of the Nigerian Navy in Port Harcourt, where they will undergo medical examination before returning to their homelands.
Shadows of vessels that have berthed within the ports, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, including the Bank of Ghana exchange rate, is up next. sending in your comment, and Iron Port will be ready to assist you. Your comment is up next.
Here are some comments. Ifya Boatema says, I agree. The port cannot be a warehouse, especially not for hazardous cargoes. I think there should be strong and working rules for dangerous cargoes. Thank you, Ifya, for your contribution. Herbert Apenkro added, certain institutions in Ghana must work 24/7 to provide work for our youth, especially those institutions that are oversubscribed. When you do cost-benefit analysis, you would realize governments would get more money and at the same time provide work for our youth. Thank you, Herbert, for your contribution. Yao from Achimota has a question. Please, which regulations govern the transport of goods by road and air? Yao, the EPA licenses vehicles or transport companies that have the capacity to carry dangerous goods from the port on our road corridors. Robert Grimond asks, do we have air quality control body at our ports? Can fire departments trace the source of chemical pollution in the air at the port? Hello Grimond, the Port Authority says it has identified the need for a facility that can trace the source of chemical pollution and has engaged a consultant to advise the necessary installation, and plans are well advanced for such services.
That's it for this week's episode of Iron Port. Thank you for watching.